Howdy all, welcome back to Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Oh man, I need to get a couple more blocks in there before I fall to my death. So, I have moved my base. Um, so I was way over here, but as you can see, there's not a lot of town way over there. And there's like at least two, this might be three overlapped. I haven't even, you know, scoped out that edge or this section yet. And I know this is an area I was trying to get into and decided it was too hard with my current setup, but I thought it'd be nice if my base was closer to somewhere that had lots of cities in not vulture-free areas, but at least in vulture-reduced areas. So I moved over here. I have oh yeah, I think I can get through right there. I have been putting down some pillars because I decided to. I was gonna build down toward the bottom. I don't know if any of this made it into a video. I messed up a few things over the weekend. Video wise, I put these down, but I should probably. Why'd you do that? Yep, those hanging over the edge. I realize I should probably fill in underneath these blocks before I get too crazy here, because it's way more difficult to do it from below. Will you go down here? But I've got to go get some more wood because I've just used up all my wood. But yeah, I had some issues. The issues were I recorded, and I recorded a few episodes because my niece was coming over, and so I knew we'd be busy watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer as our current show, and she was here longer than I expected, and so Friday I recorded a couple things, and and then when I went to render, I discovered that the settings had changed in my recording software. And I mean, it's definitely Windows fault. I updated Windows somewhere in there, and so my settings got reset on which audio devices it was picking up. And you know what it wasn't picking up? My microphone. And so I recorded 2 whole videos, not realizing that nothing I said happened. And yeah. And so those 2 videos were useless. And then I forgot to delete said videos. And then in the little window I had on Saturday, um, I attempted to record another video, and I didn't realize that I had enough space, and so it stopped recording 7 minutes into my recording session, and I didn't notice. Because my only indicator really that I'm recording is a timer in the upper right hand corner, and if I don't look at the upper right hand corner, I don't realize I'm not recording. And so the only time I really look up there is to see how long it's been. And that's the whole reason I've got the timer in the corner, is so that I know how long it's been. Otherwise, I'll just talk forever. Let's see. Yeah, I probably need more than this. And so, yeah, so basically all my recording after whatever day was my last video didn't work last week. And so here we are. It's pretty late today. I don't know exactly what happened in my day. It vanished on me. I really don't know what happened to my day, but it took me forever to get through my work today, and then we had some other stuff to do with work. And so, yeah, here we are, recording some 7 Days to Die, hopefully with sound this time. So, no D&D last week. My nephew got sick, and so D&D, obviously being a game that you play as a group, if said group is not available, we don't play. And so it's been like 3 weeks now that we haven't managed to play, which is pretty crazy. I looked it up. It's been 3 weeks, at least, since the last time we played. And all of them were my nephew this time around. Sort of. The first week he said he was too tired to play, and then the second week the second week was that week when the DM changed our day because he wanted to go hang out with other people just randomly on D&D night, and so we moved it to Tuesday, which is the day before we normally play. And then my nephew couldn't get out of his. Well, he was at a track meet. He's a coach, assistant coach, something like that. I don't know exactly what it is. That's not his day job, but so they didn't get home from the track meet till like 11, I was told. And since we quit playing about 11:30, makes it difficult to play the D&Ds. And then last week he was too sick to play, apparently. So hopefully this week, maybe we'll get to play. I'd like to play. I really do like playing D&D. I like I mean, obviously I complain about it a lot because I do wish it was better, but I do rather enjoy when we succeed against the odds. I had because we didn't play this week, or last week, I mean. Me and I don't know if these will grow here. They claim they're going to. So me and one of the other guys, the DM left early since we weren't gonna play, and so me and one of the other guys just kind of sat around and chit chatted about about D&D and the craziness of our DM, and uh, so I know I've told this story a few times, but I really do want to tell it again because it's the angriest I've ever been playing a game with someone else ever. I think. Mm, I don't know. One time I almost got in a fight with a dude on my team in the middle of a basketball tournament while we were on the floor, um, which isn't something I would ever do now. But oof, I was a angry dude in high school. And okay, I need. You know what? I don't have a hammer. Can I make a hammer? I need 18 forged iron. Woof, leather and duct tape. I don't think that's enough duct tape. I don't remember what we were going to fight about, otherwise I'd tell that story. Uh, I really don't remember. I just remember that the ref came over and asked if we needed to be ejected from the game. uh, so I need to I need to decide here. I feel like there's probably plenty of room here, and so this is going to start being my garden over here. Eventually, I'll probably replace all those wooden pillars underneath with uh, rebar. I'm gonna try that. Right now though, I need this hammer to get done. So, anyways, story. I'm gonna try and shorten this down. Uh, so I was in a campaign, and the DM was a different guy who doesn't play with us anymore because he got too busy. And so my current DM was a player in that game, and he had made a character to be as annoying as possible. Like it was both of ours first game ever playing 5th edition D&D. And he looked up online what character is most annoying to play uh, versus a DM. And so he had picked this wizard, divination wizard, because they get to roll 2 dice and at the beginning of each day, and then any time throughout the day they can use one of those dice. Well, they use both of those dice to replace 2 rolls throughout the day, and so you can really use them to change the results of what a DM rolls or what a player rolls, or something like that. And then the other part is what plays more into the story, is that his backstory was that he comes from a kind of a museum vault thing where they believe that all magic artifacts are dangerous and need to be removed from public use. And so he decided that meant that all magic items in the game belong to his character, basically. And so, yeah, that's a bit annoying. And so, uh, the campaign, after we got far enough into the game, turned out to be about these people, different groups. I don't know how much they were working together. We never got that far because our campaign kind of broke up at one point. And so they were all summoning evil gods, and but they weren't all summoning the same evil god, which led to some confusion on my part for sure, because why would they work together if they were summoning competing deities? But So the first time though, and what they would do is they would use these little orbs, and the little orbs would the little orbs would open portals to the plane of existence, because D&D's got, you know, different planes: the fire plane, the ice plane, the water plane, not the ice plane, the astral sea, right? The far lands. You know, there's the far lands. No, the it's not the far lands. Is it the far lands? That's a Minecraft thing. The far realm. Um, the there's a far something. I can't remember. It's like insanity. And so, anyways, that's so they would have to feed it with tons of magic to tear open these portals to release these deities, right? And so the first time we came across one, nobody knew what it was, and we had fought these orcs, and everybody was either patching up after the fight or looting places. And so the wizard, he's like, I'm gonna loot all these places, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna look at this tent next to me here. And so the tent that I picked just so happened to be, oh nice. I'll have to go get that. Just so happened to be the orc captain's tent. Now I didn't know that. I just picked a random tent that was next to my guy. So I went inside. There was a chest. I opened the chest. Inside the chest, I found a red orb. What? Oh, I'm out of wood. Okay. And so I'm gonna go get that loot box and see if it's better than better than the what one pumpkin pie I got that one time. And so I'm just like, oh, okay, red orb. I'm playing a fighter, right? My guy does not know anything about magic at all. Doesn't care to know about magic. I'm all about tactics and fighting. And that dude is one of my favorite characters I ever played. He had the least amount of abilities, I think, of any character I've ever used. And do you think that's must be on the other side of this mountain? Is there a path through anywhere? I have to climb this mountain? I don't think the mini bike will climb the mountain, so no. Okay, just come with me, okay? And so look at this orb. Well, the wizard, he wants it. He wants it so bad. It was so funny. I wouldn't give it to him. It was mine. I found it. And so he was just going on about his backstory about how he's a guardian of magic items and how clearly that's a dangerous magic item. We don't know what it does. We don't know where it came from. We don't know how to use it. And so how am I supposed to protect a magic item? I'm like, I don't know, with my sword? Like, protect the group already? I don't know, man. And so it led to some really funny stuff where he kept trying to get the orb. I wouldn't let him have it. One day he said he was gonna use his magic to put me to sleep and take it, and I'm like, well, if I believe you're gonna do that, then my guy's gonna swallow it before he goes to sleep. And so that really made him mad. But none of that is. I mean, it didn't make him like angry, like I was about to be angry. But there's another incident where he basically was upset that he didn't get this magic dagger that one of the other characters got, and because it was cursed, he basically talked the DM into allowing him to pumpkin seed recipe, okay, and an ammo crafting bundle. Oh, that's a nice one. That's much better than a little bit of pumpkin pie. And so, yeah, he talked the DM into letting him take it to force the other player into church so that they could get the dagger removed from him and destroyed because it was evil, and nobody should have an evil dagger. Uh, and the dude just thought it would make a fun story, but he wouldn't have that because he didn't have the dagger, and all magic items should belong to him. Seriously, it was pretty rough sometimes playing with those people. And so the angriest I've ever been though was we had stopped a few of the different groups, and so we had a few of the orbs at this point, and he had them all. Nobody else wanted them. I just wasn't giving up my little red orb that I had found. It was mine. And am I going the right way? I totally did not put back down my bedroll. Did I? Nope. Certainly did not. Please don't die on your way back. And so we go through all this stuff in this city, and like the city's been conquered, and so half of it is sealed off from the other half, and so we had to we had to sneak through some tunnels using the resistance in the city, and then we were trying to come up with a plan, and the resistance wanted to attack this banquet that the conquerors were having. And so I was like, we should sneak in the morning while they're prepping. And so we went and we pretended to be. Well, I can't remember if we hired on or we knocked them out and took the stuff, but we ended up being the meat delivery people. And so then we went and delivered the meat, but we hid all our armor and weapons in the meat wagon so that we could get it inside the compound or inside the palace grounds. And then we snuck through without being detected, and then we tripped a magic trap at one point that alerted them that we were there, but nobody was where they were supposed to be. And so the DM, I feel like the DM pulled shenanigans where he wanted this to happen, not that we accidentally. I just there was some shadiness going on with how things went down. I don't believe that the people involved should have known we were there, and they weren't in their rooms because the whole reason to sneak in was so that we could catch them in their rooms getting ready for the ball and stuff, because they weren't anywhere on the first floor, and they also somehow weren't anywhere on the second floor. And anyways, that's not what made me mad. What made me mad was, so we trip this trap, and then we go outside, or we go out on the balcony overlooking this big open landing, huge spiral entryway staircase thing, and not a spiral, but the opening to a theater or something with big, banistered stairway going up to the second floor kind of thing. And so we were going through that, and when we came out, the bad guys were there, and a lot of them, orcs, and these elite orcs that the DM made up, and uh, these three wizard NPCs, right, and who are bad guys. And so the wizard, he's got this thing where he can't. Uh, Zombies came out of there and attacked me, and I was kind of curious to go down there and see what the deal is, but I need to go get some more wood. And so he starts freaking out. He's got this phobia about letting this guy ever take any damage, any amount of damage at all. And so he's like, "Oh, wizards are the most powerful thing in the game." He talked up how powerful his wizard was compared to the rest of us, how he couldn't cast any of his spells during fights because if he cast his spells and he used up his spell slots and then we got in trouble, he wouldn't be able to save the group. How, uh, anything he wanted in the game he could take because he's a wizard, while also saying that his character was chaotic good, which means that you do good things for people, but you don't follow any rules. And so to him, that meant I use my magic to steal things from people. We got in some pretty heated arguments over the fact that I believed his character to be, at best, lawful evil. But he had a problem with his character being evil, which to me just translates to greedy, because his character was clearly greedy. And maybe neutral evil, since he didn't always follow the rules. Lawful evil is someone who uses the rules to only enrich themselves. Neutral evil would be someone who mostly follows the rules, but sometimes doesn't, to make sure they get out ahead, kind of thing. Anyways, so he's like, oh, the wizards are the most important thing. So we're up on the second floor, and all these orcs are coming up the stairs, but they're not to where we're at yet. And so I'm like, all right, these guys are like 15 feet down the stairs. The stairs are probably like 20, 25 feet in length. And so they just started up the stairs, basically. And I was like, hey, DM, since I was going to go first, after rolling to see who went when, I won the initiative. I was like, hey, DM, given my strength and how jumping in the game works, would I be able to jump over top of all the orcs and land 30 feet down behind the orcs next to the wizards? And so he agreed that I could, in fact, jump over the heads of these orcs, but I would take some attacks from a couple of the orcs as I jumped overhead. And I'm like, yep, that's fine. And so I'm like, okay, so that's the plan then, right? I'm going to go after the wizards. You guys start throwing spells and whatnot to put those guys down, right? Yep, that's the plan. And that was what the wizard wanted. He wanted us to go after the wizards. And so I ran, I jumped, I landed, I attacked. I used my action surge, which is the ability a fighter has to take 2 turns. You can only use it once a short rest, so it's not something you can use very often. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to get this guy. And I didn't, because he was the strongest guy in the room, and I didn't know it. And so then that was the end of my turn, and I'm in the middle of all these bad guys. And so before okay, so I don't remember the exact turn order, but in my mind it goes me, the wizard, the orcs, and then the ranger, and then however the rest of it played out. Ranger's on our team. And so I didn't kill the wizard I wanted to kill. I did injure 2 of them, though, I believe. I don't know. It's been too long since I watched the video of it. And I don't think I've ever actually watched the video, but it's on my channel, and so sometimes I might go back and look at a clip of it. And so the wizard then says, I have the orb you want. Or he might even just say, I have the thing you want. And then he turns and he runs to the back of the room, and then he uses a spell, I'm pretty sure it was Dimension Door, which lets you teleport 500 feet away. And so he teleports 500 feet out the back of the castle, away from where we're at, which puts him over the cliff, because the castle was like on top of a cliff overlooking the ocean. And so then he's 500 feet out the window over the ocean, running with this orb that he thinks everybody wants because he wanted it so bad. The thing is that at this point in the game, every single group had their own orb. Nobody needed the orb from a different person. I don't know what he thought was going to happen that they would want his orb. Um, and so uh, he also had like Featherfall and Fly. And so when it got back to his next turn the next time, I'm pretty sure he cast Fly and continued to fly away from the fight. He left us. He left us to die. He had Fireball and things like that that would have made the fight doable. But instead, he said that I needed to jump into the middle of the bad guys. And you know what? I don't think I actually want this out this far. I think I'm going to peel this off right here. And so yeah, so I threw myself down at the wizards like he wanted. And then the agreed upon plan was that, you know, people would attack things. This will actually be easier if I put these down first, I guess. And so then the rest of the fight was just terrible. I think I died like 3 times during the fight, and the bard in our group res me like 2 of the times, and then they just carried my dead body off. The druid had to use this really powerful magic item that he had that allowed him to summon a giant bird. And yeah, I've never been as angry. And then the ranger in our group basically refused to use any of his bow attacks or spells. And so he decided that it would be better if he just didn't. And so at that point, it was just death. It was just death. And he was like, well, there's nothing I can do. And the wizard was like, I'm flying away. They're going to chase me. They're going to chase me. And they never chased him. And yeah, that's the angriest I've ever been playing a game with people, was nobody would fight. I mean, our druid was our healer. Most of his abilities were aimed at healing. I was dead because, you know, I listened to what the wizard said. And, you know, when you push really hard that everybody needs to get to the other wizards as fast as possible, and then as soon as you get a chance, you run away and leave everybody to die. That was the last time we ever listened to the wizard. I was like, yeah, my guy now hates you, just so you know. Because at this moment, so do I a little bit. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. It was such a bad play. And I'm like, why would they even care? He's like, yeah, but it's all about the orbs. I'm like, yeah, but everybody's got their own orbs. They don't need your orb. But it's important. No, it's not. It opens a portal to Loth. These people aren't trying to summon Loth. They're trying to summon somebody else. They got a different orb. Yeah. Doesn't make me angry now, but ooh, I was so mad at the time. I just... I felt betrayed. I don't know why I thought someone who wouldn't cast attack spells. There was a lot of arguing with me and him because we don't just hang out playing D&D. Me and him hang out a lot. And we had many, many arguments over his play style. I just... The fact he wouldn't cast spells is just bizarre to me. And then the fact he ran away after telling us we needed to go after those wizards. Just insanity. I will add on that later, when we no longer played D&D with those guys, and we started a new group to play D&D because they all stopped playing. Then he started running games, and I started running games. But during his game, I made a wizard, and I played that wizard for 11 or so levels, which is not quite as long as he played his wizard. But man, my wizard was a caster, and you know, the kind that makes things dead. And so it was a really different kind of game when you have a wizard who throws spells, instead of a wizard who's like, I need to save every ounce of magic just in case I get in trouble, because I needed to protect myself. And the rest of the group is just the fodder that stands between me and the bad guys. Because I truly feel that's how he felt about about the rest. I thought while I was talking about that, one of the things that he does always when he's playing a character is he likes to get the last hit on things for some reason, and I have no idea why, because it doesn't change anything. There's nothing special about getting the last hit on things. And he will change guys he's fighting when he's playing if he believes that someone's about to kill something so that he can get the last hit. Man, I actually do have another story about that other game where he made me so mad. Another time where he made me mad. He made me mad a lot. But yeah, we don't really have time for that right now. So with that, I am going to call it a day. So be bearing the small things, lean to the light. I will talk to you later.